Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very important video. Now, I don't know for sure if this is going to happen. I don't know. It might happen and it might not happen. It's just something to speculate on. Because I was just watching a video, then I went to type it in. They have this new video coming out March 22nd. It's called Olympics Has Fallen. Now, in that movie, Olympics Has Fallen, they're showing the White House being under attack. They have these planes, these big planes, army planes coming over, where they open up the thing and they're shooting missiles at the White House and everything. They have helicopters flying all over the place. Because I was just thinking to myself, because my mind is open now to how the global elitists work. They get pleasure. It's part of their religion that they tell us what they're going to do before they do it. And this was very interesting. Right on the cover, ladies and gentlemen, right on the cover of the video, they show the I don't know if that's the federal building, like with those things, like those poles hanging down. Well, that's exploded. But I want to say right on the cover. That's right on the cover, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's right on the cover. You guys can go check it up on YouTube. It's called Olympics Has Fallen. So this could be an Illuminati message that this is what they're going to do on March 22nd. I'm not setting a date. I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't want anything to happen. I do not want this to happen, but if it happens, it happens. But I want to say it right on the cover. They show the federal building exploded. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Listen to this. Tell me what you guys think of what this is they're trying to say. This is what it says. Okay. Listen to this. When our flag falls, so when our flag falls, our nation will rise. Now, what are they trying to say in that typical language there? To me, if you ask me, they're talking... So if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me what that is talking about, okay, let me read it again. Let me read it again to you. Okay. When our flag falls, our nation will rise. Our nation will rise. What does that sound like? Anybody that knows about the Illuminati knows exactly what that's talking about. Okay. When our flag falls, our nation will rise. When we destroy the United States, then we can get a new world order. We can get the new world order, nation rising. That's basically what they want to do. They want total destruction of the United States. Maybe this is why Obama's trip has been canceled, because he was supposed to go to Israel, but it's been canceled. There's just so much speculation going on right now. So what else did I want to say? Yeah, even Russia. Russia is threatening Obama better get out, because they're getting mad. The Russians are getting mad at what he's doing. So they said if Obama does not get out of office, then Russia is going to attack the United States. Russia is going to attack the United States, okay? And what else? Like, there's so many things. So many things. Now, I want to share this as well, but I don't know how accurate this is, okay? It's just something to consider. I was talking to someone yesterday because I got a message on my Facebook that this was an emergency. So I called the person. Then she told me to call her back, so I called her back. And she told me that someone at her work came in, rushing in, like it was an she said it was an emergency, that she said that very soon, I don't know, she didn't say a date, she just said she didn't know the date, but she said very soon they're going to start throwing Christians into the concentration camps, into the FEMA camps. They're getting ready. But I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just saying, just something to consider. But this is the global elitists. They're taking over. So I was just thinking about this because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, they tell us exactly what they're going to do before they do it. Anybody that has studied 9/11 knows that September 11th was an inside job. That was not a terrorist attack upon America. That was the global elitists. President Bush was responsible for 9/11. There's overwhelming evidence of that. An avalanche of evidence that he was responsible. This is what we call problem, reaction, solution. They create a crisis so that people go into submission. Because look at now, 9/11 has totally changed this entire world. Now President Obama, he can tap anybody's phone without a warrant. You name it, we're all tapped into the system. And everywhere you go now, when you go to the airports, now you have to go through the DHS, the TSA, where they have to pat you down and this and this and this. What they wanted to do, it's exactly what they wanted to do. They make it look like we're fighting terrorism. So they pass these new laws, these new legislations, so they can do what they want to do. History has shown. Always go where it works. Because look, let's go back in the beginning. Rome. Nero burned down Rome, and he burned it on the Christians. And he succeeded. And then let's go to Hitler. Hitler burned down his Reichstag, and he blamed it on the British. For what reason? So he can go to World War II, so he can confiscate and disarm all the German people, and install an all-powerful police state, martial law, and that's exactly what he did. There was no reason for World War II. It was all planned and orchestrated by the Illuminati, because they had a goal out of that. What was that goal? Because in the beginning, they tried to do it through World War I, but they failed. What they tried to create was a European Union and the United Nations. So they failed at World War I. So what did they do? They created another war. Then they succeeded. They created the European Union, came out of the ashes of the Holocaust. And then they created the League of Nations, and then it progressed to the United Nations. This was all laid out on drawing boards, ladies and gentlemen. They have planned 3 major world wars. The next war they have planned out is the Jews and the Muslims. But I wanted to say this. Now, let's fast forward. Like I'm showing you, false flag operation. So, Nero burned down Rome, and he blamed it on the Christians. Hitler burned down his Reichstag, so he can go to war. And it happened. They caused a crisis, and they blame it on another country. Now, let's fast forward to the Oklahoma bombing. That was, Bill Clinton was responsible for that. Many people are not aware of that. Because Homeland Security, they have so much surveillance footage that they will not release to the public. Because there's people that were saying that, no, it wasn't Timothy, whatever they were trying to throw it on. Maybe Timothy was part of it, probably. I don't know. But the people that I said, this guy was a Middle Eastern man, and this and that, and yet Homeland Security will not release any surveillance footage. Now, why is that? If they have nothing to hide, why is this? Now, this should make you think about your government. If they're hiding that from you, what else are they hiding from you? These people are liars, they're frauds, they're manipulators. They cannot be trusted, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Because every time Bill Clinton was in trouble, a ship blew up or something happened. And there was actually a guy that was paged that morning. He was paged, he got paged on his pager, and he was warned not to come to work that morning. That they were going to blow up the Oklahoma bombing. Just as everybody else was warned, just as he was warned. But this is what they created. And now let's fast forward to 9/11. I don't have to remind any of you what happened on 9/11. 9/11 was an inside job, regardless of what anybody says. Because previous to 9/11, they actually had Bin Laden with Bush and all the people in a building discussing this for 10 days, how they were going to take it out. And they actually told NORAD to stand down. Because it was impossible to happen. It was impossible to happen because NORAD is following it. And some people don't even believe that there were people on the planes. Because it was a military plane. They probably took the people that had that flight and they killed them and they threw them somewhere. They said that was a military plane. It was like engineered and steered by a missile controller. Anyways, who knows? I'm saying 9/11 was an inside job. There was people there. They said at 2 or 3 in the morning they saw vans outside putting bombs into the building. Okay? They were putting bombs into the building. They hired this terrorist to come down to put bombs into the building. And then what else? Yeah, it was crazy. Like George Bush, man. George Bush, he's out of school. These kids are saying plane crashes into steel or something. I forget how it. Plane crashes into steel. And then yeah, people knew about it because there was this Navy SEAL that was warned by his colonel not to fly into New York City on September 10th, 2001. Not to fly in the next morning because there was going to be a horrific event. Like, so many people were warned not to go to work, and so many other things. So many other things, ladies and gentlemen. And even the people, the janitors that were working in there, said when they were cleaning, they heard bombs going off. They interviewed the firefighters. They said they heard explosions, and the guy said this is impossible for just a plane with jet fuel to do this. Never happened in human history ever before. And even on the movie Long Kiss Goodnight, 1993, World Trade Center bombing. The CIA or FBI had foreknowledge of it. And then the guy's like, what are you trying to tell me? How are you going to fake killing 4,000 people? He's like, well, I don't know how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just going to have to do it for real. And we'll just blame it on the Muslims. And that's exactly what they did. And they show it on the other movie, X-File, Plot, something. It's even in a book, ladies and gentlemen. This is all written down in books that thousands of Americans will die on American soil. Like, on this movie. Because they're on the plane. Then he was talking to his friends that are professionals at computers. They're geniuses. They found out the plane's controlled. Like, they're going to crash the plane into the World Trade Center. They're going to crash the plane into the World Trade Center, and that's exactly what happened. You can see this in Fight Club. You can see this in Terminator when he's on the bike. You're driving over the thing. You see 9/11 ahead, or all this other stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there's just so much evidence that 9/11 was an inside job. It's not even funny. And by the way, the Oklahoma bombing, what I was talking about before, somebody wrote a book about this coming a terrorist act, the city of Oklahoma, and that book was written 2 years before the Oklahoma bombing. And yet it happened right on time. It's called The Final Jihad, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research. This is what's happening. So I just wanted to let you guys be aware of this. Is this going to happen on March 22nd? I don't know. It's just something to keep your eyes open. Well, you're going to know when it happens anyway. If it happens, everybody's going to know about it. America is under attack. And plus, this is what it says. I'm going to read it again. When our flag falls, our nation will rise. To me, they're talking about the New World Order. That's exactly what it's talking about. Anybody that knows the symbols of the New World Order will know. They tell us everything what they do before they do it. Because they get pleasure out of it. Like, there's so much evidence, man. There's so much evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Even on the back of the $20 bill, they show 9/11. They show they show the Tower 7 exploded. And plus the Pentagon, that was not a plane, that was a missile or a bomb. Even them, they don't want to release footage to see it. There was only one footage released, and you don't show any plane, they just show an explosion. And there was a girl that was threatened not to shut your mouth, don't you say anything. Because there was a girl that went to work that morning, and she saw an explosion. There's lots of whistleblowers out there that are starting to come out and tell people, because it's consuming them inside. They can no longer keep it a secret. And she said it was a missile or it was a bomb that went off. And then the army person that went to say, did you see the plane? She said, no, there was no plane. That was a missile. Said, you shut your mouth. Don't you say a word. The people are starting to get threatened, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand. The New World Order is taking over. They're destroying America, and then the whole world's going to follow with it. That's why very soon the economic collapse is going to happen. Russia and China is going to attack the United States. That's what's on the movie. These was prophecy, and I have someone on my Facebook page. Because a long time ago, I had a screen, like a picture. They show these planes and everything going over the White House and of America and everything. And she said that's what her friend saw in the vision. And that's what they're making on the video. Isn't that funny? They're making that video on that. So ladies and gentlemen, just be prepared. This is the end time hour. We're about to be called home. The rapture of the church is about to take place. All hell is about to break loose, put it that way. This is what's going to happen. The United States of America is no longer going to be the world's superpower anymore. Everything's going to shift to Europe. Okay? The United States is going to decline. This is what's happening. So I just wanted to let you guys know. Keep your eyes open for March 22nd. And I want to read it to you one more time. It's called, the movie's called, watch it on, go on YouTube and see the clip. It's called Olympics Has Fallen. And then on the cover, you can't see it on the video, but I saw it on the cover, it says, when our flag falls, our nation will rise. That's talking about the New World Order. It's common sense. Anybody that knows about the New World Order will know right away. So this is all I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, and God bless you all.